So guys, we are here again, transfer deadline day, loads to talk about, let's jump into it. Guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. We have done countless transfer rumour roundup videos over the last few months, and we are now here at deadline day, and it all comes down to this. What deals are you hoping that your club is going to get over the line in the next few hours? Make sure to let me know down below. Now, we've got a lot to talk about in today's video. We've got all the deals which have gone through in the past week or so, all the deals which have gone through on transfer deadline day so far. Now, obviously, things are rapidly moving on a day like today, so some of the rumours that we talk about will probably be done deals by the time this video comes out. But as always, if you do go and to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do subscribe for some regular championship content. If we get it 400 likes for transfer deadline day, that would be massively appreciated. But without any further ado, let's jump into all these done deals. So we'll start out with a departure. Middlesbrough striker Chuba Akpom has gone out on loan for this season to PAOK in Greece. Now, it was clear to see that he wasn't going to be in Neil Warnock's plans for this season, so a loan move probably makes the most sense here. He was brought in under Neil Warnock, wasn't he? And he started out fairly brightly, but things went downhill for him fairly swiftly after that. Seemed to lose a bit of confidence in that second half of the season, and ultimately it was clear to see that him and Warnock didn't see eye to eye. West Brom completed the loan signing of Jordan Hugill coming in for the season. Obviously, I know that a few Baggies fans were hoping to get Daryl DK in, and that would have been sort of like the ideal situation, but Jordan Hugill, while not perhaps on the level of DK, comes in as a similar sort of mould. You know, he will be that sort of like battering ram for them up front, a little bit different to what they've already got there, and obviously Ishmael likes to have that sort of target man, as we saw from Barnsley last season. I quite like Jordan Hugill, although he's not necessarily a natural finisher. I think he's got a lot of other attributes which make him quite useful. He's fairly fast, he's good and mobile, and he wins a lot of headers. And they also completed the loan signing of Jason Malumbi, who comes in from Brighton. Now, Preston had him on loan in the second half of last season, but we didn't really get to see all too much of him at North End. I think he'll be a decent fit into this West Brom squad, though. He's someone who will be happy to sort of come in and out of that team. Got a lot of energy in midfield, which is what Ishmael usually likes to look for. Obviously, his best moments in the Championship so far probably came previously when he had that loan spell with Millwall. We saw Max Lowe complete his move to Nottingham Forest. He joins there on loan. Obviously, Forest were in need of another option at left back, so Lowe comes in to add that option. Always interesting when you got players that have played for sort of your rivals and stuff like that, but now I'm interested to see how he gets on there. Wigan completed the loan signing of Tom Bayliss, who's gone there for this season. But really what Preston and what we're sort of in need of doing today really is shifting some of the deadwood. You know, we're over that 25-man cap at the moment, and to sort of bring players in, we need to get some of them out the door first. Tom Bayliss is someone who has barely kicked a ball since we signed him from Coventry, so I'm hoping that this Wigan loan move will sort of kickstart his career with North End now. Reading have been fairly busy with getting some deals done lately. They completed a loan move for Baba Rahman, who comes on loan from Chelsea. And a very interesting deal is that they've brought in Alan Halilovic. He comes in on a free transfer. Obviously, we got to see glimpses of him last season in the Championship for Birmingham. I know that at some stages Birmingham fans themselves were hoping that they get him back once again for this season, but no, I thought that we saw enough sort of glimpses of quality in the small sort of sample size of matches that he had last season that he could be quite a useful player. Obviously, he takes some of the creative burden off John Swift, and so there might not be that over-reliance on him that we potentially thought there would be at some points, and yeah, I quite like that deal. Reading also completed the signing of Danny Drinkwater, who's come on loan from Chelsea for this season. His last couple of loan moves to English clubs haven't exactly gone to plan, with moves to Villa and Burnley, so he'll be looking to get his career back on track this time with Reading. Ryan Wintle completed the loan move to Blackpool for this season. He's moving over from Cardiff. Middlesbrough completed the loan signing of Onel Hernandez, who comes on loan from Norwich for this season. Really quite like that deal. Middlesbrough have been linked to a whole load of wingers throughout this transfer market, but they finally got this deal over the line here. Obviously, Onel Hernandez, experience in the Championship, couple promotions now with Norwich. I know that he didn't feature all too much last season because of injuries and stuff like that, but when he is fully fit, he can be absolutely electric, can't he? Jean-Paul Van Heck has joined Blackburn on loan for the season. He's joining up from Brighton. Obviously, Blackburn really dipping now into the loan market. George Tanner has joined Bristol City from Carlisle. He was formerly of the Manchester United Youth Academy. Mipo Odobeko joins Huddersfield for the season on loan from West Ham after recently signing a new contract with the Hammers. The 18-year-old striker did have a little bit of interest from some other Championship clubs, I'm led to believe, but Huddersfield have got that loan deal over the line. Conor Hourihane has joined Sheffield United on loan for the season. Sheffield United were in need of rejuvenating their midfield a little bit. This was one of the positions that they've been looking to strengthen throughout the summer. Obviously, we previously had the Ronaldo Vieira situation that's went on for a while. They were linked with Tom Kearney earlier on in the window as well. So someone like Conor Hourihane, I think, was always on the cards for Sheffield United. Obviously, he spent the second half of last season on loan at Swansea. Scott Dan joined Reading on a free transfer. Reading getting quite a few deals done over the past couple of days. Probably the biggest deal that went through in the Championship yesterday, though, was Troy Deeney completing a move from Watford to Birmingham on a free transfer. Obviously, Deeney himself being a lad from Birmingham. He did a great announcement video for this one on Twitter, and it went mental on social media and stuff like that. So there is a bit of romance with this story, and obviously, I mean, Troy Deeney's a good character, if anything, to be bringing in to that dressing room. You know, he's got a wealth of experience about him. For Birmingham, it's already been generally quite a good start to the season, so Deeney obviously will add a little bit more to that. On the pitch, I'm still not 100% sure what I think of this deal. I wasn't Deeney's biggest fan for Watford last season. Obviously, he scored a fair few penalties, and if Birmingham get any of them, you know, make no mistakes about it, he's hitting the back of the net with how hard he hits them. But I'm interested to know how Bowie goes ahead and sort of integrates him into the squad, and who sort of makes way for Deeney in this sense, because I can't for the life of me seeing, you know, Deeney and Djukovic maybe working out as a forward too. I think they're quite similar really in what they offer. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least, to see how he goes ahead and gets the best out of all those striker options. But yeah, I'm sure Birmingham fans are really excited about this one. One of the deals I wanted to talk about in League One quickly was Bertrand Salina, who's gone on loan to Ipswich for this season. Can't help but feel like that's a great deal for League One. Now, it's been clear to see that Blackpool have been missing a right back so far this season, and they got 2 deals done and over the line now. Dujon Sterling, first of all, has come on loan from Chelsea for the season. We've seen a bit of a glimpse of Sterling in the Championship before. He had a brief loan spell with Wigan, where we saw a little bit of him in the Championship. Also had a loan spell with Coventry in League One, where he did quite well. And they also completed a deal for Nottingham Forest fullback Jordan Gabriel. Obviously, they had him on loan there last season. This rumour had been going around for quite some time, and that Blackpool were keen to get a deal over the line, and that has since materialised. One of the deals which has just gone through as of recording is Connor Roberts, who has completed a move to Burnley. Now, obviously, we've not seen him this season due to an injury, but I mean, that's quite the blow. I know that Swansea have a little bit of cover in that area already, but as we'll talk about when we get into the rumour section of today's video, there could be quite a bit of movement with Swansea on deadline day here, especially with some players leaving. It does feel like that, you know, squad under Cooper has very much now reached the end of its cycle. You know, all the loan players are now gone, and seemingly most of the big players that were on permanent deals there are also now moving along. Connor Roberts, for me, I'd say was the best right back in the Championship last season. I know that Max Aarons in the end, I think, got the award in the team of this season, didn't he? But for me, Connor Roberts, the numbers he put up in terms of assists and how well he fit into that wing-back system that they used last season, that's quite the blow. But as of recording, those are the deals which have gone through. Now let's hop into the transfer rumours segment. But like I say, some of these will have probably gone through by the time you guys are watching. Let's jump into it. And so we may as well start out with some Swansea news, as there's quite a bit going around at the moment. Now, it's to be believed that Jamal Lowe is currently having a medical with Bournemouth ahead of a move there, and the fee currently being quoted is only £1.5 million. Now, regardless of your opinion on him, £1.5 million is an absolute steal for a player who's more than capable of consistently scoring sort of 10 plus goals at this level. He's proven from his time at Wigan and now Swansea. And obviously with Russell Martin coming in, there's going to be a new style there at Swansea this season. So far he's not quite fit into that, but for Bournemouth to get this deal done for a player who can either play through the middle or out wide, it looks like really good business to me here. And another potential departure for seemingly another quite cut price is Matt Grimes. Now, he has been linked with the move away from Swansea throughout this window, and it is looking like Fulham are upping their pursuit of the player, especially now that Anguissa looks to be getting a loan deal to Napoli for the season. Grimes, really good player, and perhaps maybe even a little bit underrated in the general scheme of the Championship. Although it's not all bad news for Swansea fans at the moment, because Olivier Ntcham is currently having a medical with the club. He's currently a free agent, having previously played for Celtic. By no means would this be a natural replacement for Matt Grimes either. Grimes plays a lot deeper. Ntcham either plays as sort of a number 8 or a number 10. Reading some of the comments, from Celtic fans on social media seem to be sort of portraying the same sort of image of him, that really good player when he sort of wants to be. So the natural ability is undoubtedly there, especially at championship level. It's just a question of sort of getting his head in the right mindset. And Swansea are also keen to take Rhys Williams on loan for the season from Liverpool. Obviously the young defender got quite a bit of first team action last season as he made 19 appearances for Liverpool's first team in what was their sort of injury crisis at centre half. I think this one suits all parties really. Swansea were in need of more in this department, and they have a good track record so far with developing young centre halves. And another big move for Bournemouth is that they are seemingly close to getting a deal done for Celtic's Ryan Christie, and this despite Burnley also being interested in the Celtic midfielder. It seems like he's chosen Bournemouth as his next destination. Looks like a really good deal here, and Bournemouth certainly making the moves on deadline day. Slovenian striker Andras Spara is expected to complete a loan deal with Middlesbrough. Obviously he'll be coming in to replace that gap which is left by Chuba Akpom, who's recently gone out on loan. We spoke about this rumour in the last video. Yesterday, Blackpool put in a bid of around 600k for Oxford midfielder Cameron Brannigan, and are still pursuing that deal as of today, it seems. Obviously, formerly of the Liverpool Academy, doing really well in League One these past few years for Oxford. Reading are currently working on a deal to get Andy Carroll brought in before deadline day, which would be quite the interesting one to say the least. Now, the age-old question with Andy Carroll is, can you keep him fit for long enough for him to have a worthy impact of actually bringing him in and the sort of money you'll pay for him. Now thankfully for Reading, if they were to get this deal over the line, the wages wouldn't be anything sort of astronomical because they are working with that wage cap at the moment, so it would need to be on the reasonable deal. So this one really just comes down to fitness. Peterborough's Sariki Dembele has been linked with a move to Sheffield United, although as of recording no contact has yet been made between Sheffield United and Peterborough. Robin Olsen is expected to come in at Sheffield United on loan for this season. He'd obviously be coming in as that replacement for Aaron Ramsdale. Olsen spent last season out on loan at Everton, and they're also keen to get a deal done for Morgan Gibbs-White over the line for this season as well. This would be quite a tempting deal actually. I quite like the look of Gibbs-White whenever I've got to see a glimpse of him. Obviously he had that short spell at Swansea before he picked up that injury where he looked quite bright in the Championship, and has also had a couple moments at Wolves. And Parma winger Jan Karamo also looks set to sign for Sheffield United on loan for this season. Another player who would offer them something a little bit different in the final third, pacey winger. Sheffield United have quite a bit in terms of bodies in the final third at the moment, but no one particularly seems to perfectly fit this system, so it's understandable to see why they're still looking for a few more tweaks in this area. Nottingham Forest are currently being heavily linked with a move for Josh Maja. Now this would be a great bit of business for me. Forest have been crying out for a striker for this whole window, and if they were to get Maja over the line in the next few hours, I think that would be a great bit of business. Obviously we got to see him out on loan at Fulham in the second half of last season in the Premier League, and while he was sort of thrown in at the deep end there, I thought we saw shades of what he was capable of. Obviously he absolutely ripped it up from his time with Sunderland, and I think he'd be a really good goal scorer in the Championship, you know, especially with some of the players that Forest have. I know that that's not materialised on the pitch so far this season under Chris Hughton, but in terms of quality in the 11, you know, having like Brennan Johnson, Joe Lolly back to his best, Alex Martin playing off him, Zinkernagel as well, there should be goals to be had there. Cardiff have reportedly had multiple loan inquiries come in today for winger Josh Murphy, so we'll wait to see if anything materialises with that over the next few hours. At North End at the moment, things seem to be fairly quiet, and the current word coming out of the club is that a striker isn't looking all too likely to come in, which wouldn't be the best of news for us at the moment. Obviously things can change in the final hours of this window, you know, players come available that weren't previously, but as things stand, not much is going on at the moment. One of the links that we've had is to Sam Morsey, but even in that one there doesn't seem to be much in it from the club's end at the moment. That will wrap it up for the moment though, guys. We'll have loads more stories and transfers breaking over the next few hours and stuff like that, and we'll have a more comprehensive review of all the deals that go through later on in the week. But as always, keep on getting your comments in the comments down below, get your thoughts down there, and do leave a like if you did go on to enjoy today's video. As always, if you did enjoy, make sure to stick around and subscribe for a bit of regular Championship content. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.